Hey, shalawam. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right, it's the brother Azariah here with the Pittsburgh GMS camp. And I just wanted to do this quick lesson, okay? With the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Now, right now, I'm out, working or whatever, doing a delivery. That's why I'm doing the camera like this, because if something pop up on the screen, I don't want it to, get to like you. It's a big ass preview for this damn recorder app. Whatever. I don't want it to pop up and give out any information or whatever, so that's why I'm recording like this, but I'm gonna pull up some precepts. So anyway, I was thinking, as I was riding through these Edomite neighborhoods, you know what I mean, like Esau, not only has he taken over, the northern kingdom's land over here, Arsareth, which is called in the scriptures, which we know to be America, Babylon the Great. Not only has Esau taken over these lands, but he's made himself at home, okay? Let me see this shit. See if I can get this precept. All right, so, no, that's not the one I'm on. I may have to quote it. But anyway, when you go over somebody's house, typically, right, if you're taught the proper etiquette, you're not going to be bold in someone else's house. You're not going to, the scriptures tell you not to sit when you go into a banquet. Don't sit in the chief seat, lest the owner of the banquet come by and tell you, give this seat unto somebody more noble. So basically what that should teach you is to not put yourself first, not to go in somebody else's house and embolden yourself. And I'm going to take liberty, basically, not to take that liberty upon yourself, but not only has Esau come into someone else's houses, but he's taking liberty. He's taking the chiefest seats. He's taking the chief lands. Okay. And he doesn't give a damn. Now let me get this, precept right. See if I can grab this precept, because I was looking for that scripture. Okay. Let me see if I can get it. I can't find it. I'm just going to go to this other one. Forget it. I'm trying to find that one, but it ain't coming up. Alright, so I'm going to go to Habakkuk. I think it's in Habakkuk. Let me just type it in like this. Tell me you're trying to do a lesson. No, it's Myka. Myka 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. Okay. Turn the phone like this. Salaki. Oh, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to just leave it like this. Salaki. Akim. Myka 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Now, who is them that devise iniquity, okay, and work evil upon their beds? Well, it's Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay? He devises iniquity, and he works evil upon his bed. Now, how do we know that this is him? When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Jake can sit up here and plot small things, okay, and this, that, and the other, and Jake, the wicked of Jake can fall into this category as well, as far as like plotting to rob somebody or kill somebody. For the most part, they can, accomplish it, depending on who they're trying to get. But, okay, the one who has the power to execute global plans, okay, well, that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay, the elites thereof, right? Because the elites literally have these Bilderberger meetings and these different meetings where chief officials of these nations get together and they plot out a future course, okay? Let's get a scripture. You know what I'm saying? They actually literally come together and they've made a pact, okay? And they plot, you know? They do plots and they bring it forward, okay? Now, all the nations come together and plot against the Israelites. See if I can find this particular. All the nations plot together against the Israelites, right? Okay, let me just get this. Salakia. Hey, man. The struggles of the phone sometimes. Okay. Psalms 83. Okay. And I think I'm gonna start at verse 1 actually. Psalms 83:1. A song or a psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. Okay, and a tumult is an uproar, a stirring up, okay, a loud noise. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Now, think about a tumult, okay? A tumult is like a riot, right? So like a loud riot is stirring up, okay? Usually when the people cause a tumult or a riot, you know, it's because they're fed up and they've gotten emboldened to the point where they don't care what the outcome is. They're going to do what they got to do. Salaki, 1 second, we'll take a sip of water. Okay, Salaki. Now, like I was saying, so that's typically what it is when a large crowd gets together. Now, these nations, okay, the chief thereof being Esau, Edom, okay, as far as the power structure goes, okay. Now, the Amalekites, the chief adversary tribe, the tribe of Amalek, okay, the chief adversary of the children of Israel in the fleshly bodies, okay, they know the judgments. They know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is coming down from the clouds with the chariots of heaven, with great wrath and great power, beyond anything they could ever hope to have, and that they can't fight against it. But regardless, you know, they're making a tumult, you know, and they're lifting up their head, represents being proud, you know. Keep your head held high, you know, keep your shoulders straight and back, and, you know, it represents, it can represent, and typically it represents being proud of yourself, being overconfident, you know. What does the scripture say? His look was more stout than his fellows, you know, concerning the little horn, right? And that little horn represents America, Babylon the Great, which is at the chief of NATO. It's at the top of NATO. You know, it's been putting all these other, all these policies into place, and everybody else has basically had to follow suit. Okay. So, they have lifted up the head, right? Psalms 83:3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Going back to that whole Bilderberger group thing, right? Where they all get together and they all plan on how they're going to, what the next move is, you know? All the ones that are in bed with Esau, okay? All the ones that have eaten of his bread, okay? Eventually they're going to turn on him, but right now they're agreeing to push forth whatever agenda Esau wants to push forth. And then it tells you all the ones that are confederate against the children of Israel, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, being, like I said, being the chief of Esau, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, okay, those are the Hamites. And the list goes on and on, right? The list goes on and on, okay? But, you know, like I was saying, though, you know, Esau moves in, man, and he just basically takes whatever, he takes everything, man. And let's go back to that Myka. Okay, let's go back to that Myka. And this is just going to be a quick lesson, you know. I got to do this order. But I just want to make this lesson, okay? Myka, Salaki, 2. Okay. And 1 again. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And that's Esau Edom, man. He has the power to put forth global policy and to basically change the scope of how the future will play out, so to speak. Because ultimately the Most High is in control, but the Lord's allowing him to devise these plans and do these wicked things. Now let's get back to my point. Myka 2:2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, right? Okay, so a man's heritage is his inheritance, okay? You know, it's your inheritance, okay? The scriptures say what? Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. Well, his heritage goes, the Most High's heritage goes into his inheritance, which is the children of Israel. So when you oppress a man's heritage, you're oppressing the thing that he's inherited, right? Now, ultimately, okay, Esau was blessed to dwell in the fatness of the earth, but he was blessed secondarily to dwell in the fatness of the earth. First, Jacob was blessed that he would dwell in the best places, right? The first blessing went unto Jacob through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, and Esau basically is getting the leftovers. That's basically how it went down, because Jake inhabited this place first, and then Esau came and took it away, and now he's inhabiting it. So even though in a roundabout way it was promised to him to inherit these things, he took them by force. He took them by the sword, as the scriptures say, by thy sword shalt thou live, right? So that's how he got possession of these places, right? So, you know, it was just something I was thinking about, you know how Esau, because you drive through these neighborhoods, man, and you can just see, man, Esau's at home. Esau is at home, man. He's comfortable. You know, he's got these big old nice houses with these, they look beautiful, you know, big old beautiful houses, man, where you just be like, damn, man, if I could afford to live there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be chilling for real. But this is not our rest, you know. There's too much wickedness here, you know, for the Lord to put us in those positions. You know, I think I might be covering up the mic. Salaki if I'm covering up the mic too much. But you know, this is not our rest. Salaki. Okay? This is not our rest. So the Lord's not gonna have the men of the Lord in that type of case where you just got a big luxurious house, you know, unless, for the most part, let's just say for the most part, you know, because the scriptures say even the Messiah have not a place to dwell his head or to lay his head, right? Okay, Son of Man have not, foxes have holes and dens and whatnot, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. So, you know, we're not going to be in some fancy rich, you know, it says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. You know, so anyway, you know, Esau, like I said, Esau has the fatness of the earth because he stole it. Let me get the scripture here. Okay. Because, you know, it was all, of course he got it through the sword. But also, you know, Jake's that was being simple, which, like I said, prophecy had to come to pass, is ultimately, you know, how Esau got this. You know, it's through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, ultimately. Let me say that. But, you know, let me read this. All right, Sirach. One second. What chapter is this? Sirach 12. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 12, and let me read this. 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so of his wickedness. Right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And that's what Esau did. Okay? He overmastered, and he took the kindness of the Native Americans and he killed them. And now he's standing in their place, right? Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. You know? And there's even another one where it talks about him, let me see here. Ecclesiasticus 6 or Sirach 6. Okay. Boy, man, this mobile version of this King James look ugly. All right, Sirach 6. And I can even start at verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and he will not continue in the day of thy affliction. Because Esau tried to pretend to be your friend, and he'll get over on your ass. Verse 11, but in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants. Okay? If thou be brought low, he will be against thee and will hide himself from thy face. Okay, but basically that's what I'm going into, And when you fall, Esau will come take your spot, and then he'll take your servants and your woman and everything else too. So like you for the sun in your eyes. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I gotta run here and do this real quick. But I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. With that, I'm gonna say shalawam.